now to try and tidy up some of this mess of cables. I'm doing a bit of cable management. Now, one thing I do like about these Briksmax kits are these little patch panels. So all of these cables that are trailing around under there get plugged into here, and these can get plugged into each other, which eventually get plugged into power source. Now, I've got a USB power lead here, which is my chosen source of power, but they do also supply a battery pack, which you can use just as easily, but I just like the USB because I have a number of USB power banks, which I just need to recharge and then plug in, and jobs are good. Right, so all we're doing initially is plugging this little connecting cable between these two panels. Right, and again, as long as you get the plugs in the right way around, it doesn't really matter which way around. As long as the plugs themselves are in the sockets right way around, it doesn't matter which socket it goes into and which way one board's connected to the other. Also, just mention these little sticky pads which are used to connect or to fix these onto the Lego itself. Okay, so, and this is where it's going to get really fiddly, because there's not a lot of slack here. And so what we're doing is taking all of these connectors, that one's got tangled up, right, a sec, it's got itself caught under the black connectors from wheel arches. Let's try and separate those out. In hindsight, I might be better off pulling these black cables through a different hole. Yep. Where we are now. So, right, and as I said, it doesn't really matter how these go in, but some of these are longer than others, so put the longer ones towards the back. Right. Yeah. And you probably can't see what's going on here. Unfortunately, it's big fingers and tiny little cables. That all we're doing at this point is taking each of these plugs and plugging it into here. Unfortunately, it isn't immediately obvious which way around it is. These go in from sight, but as I said before, once you've got them the right way around, it doesn't take a lot of force to put them in, so you know pretty quickly if you're trying to put them in the wrong way around. And obviously, once you've got one done, you can work the rest out. Right. So this one doesn't want to go in. Come on. Right. So we now have a fully connected panel. Now, we also happen to have one spare socket on that panel, which we'll see how we get on with the second one. Just notice this needs to go on as well on the other end. Right, so this one, Right, we obviously have a lot of slack here. So the chosen method to deal with that, as actually, just thinking if I think what I'm going to do, because I can put those, which I should say, because I can put those in two separate sections of the chassis, I'm going to feed this got to feed these through here. Essentially just try and take up some of this slack, as yeah, got lots of slack with these cables. Right, again, just looks a bit neater too. I'm going to do the same with these black cables. Right, so we now have that feeding through there. So what we'll be aiming for is these sort of stuck on the sides, and actually again just to neaten things up a bit. Yeah, I'll take this one. I'm actually going to feed that through, if I can get it through this, yeah, via hole there. Right, that's connected. So when I come to stick it all down, that can just stick nicely there. This can stick on there. So leaves that cable there. Right. I'm not sure if that. Okay, this is actually done it slightly differently. It's put those patch panels either side. But I have to admit, I think I prefer the way I've done it here. Just because it uses up some of the slack. As what they suggest doing to relieve the slack is to actually spin the cable around the patch panel so it just wraps around and then sticks on, which you can do, but I must admit I personally prefer, if I can, just to route the cable in such a way that it uses up its own slack. So what I'm tempted to do here is get them out of the way. Just going to feed these around a bit. So again, uses up some of this snap cable in a more natural fashion. Right. See, twist these around again because they'll be coming in a bit loose. Yeah, just hope when I put power into this, all the lights come on. I was trying to find a fault or replace the snapped cable. Will be an absolute nightmare. I must admit, this is probably the largest or the most complex 19s kit I've done to date. And considering some of the setups I've seen for the likes of the Millennium Falcon and like some of the big castles like the Disney Castle and the Hogwarts Castle, I dread to think how involved they are. And one more, come on. Try not to pull the rest out. I'm putting that one too. Right, I think that's all of them. Yeah, there's just one there. That's him. Right, so now we have a much more manageable amount of cable there. Let's again put that one side, and that one side. I'm going to do a similar thing with this, with these two. Let's put them through the other way. Right. So, and to be honest, I may just, rather than stick these down, just let them float, because they're not getting in the way of anything. But we'll see. We'll see what's likely to work out for the best. Okay, let's see. So I'm feeling I'm actually going to run out of plugs on this panel, but the next instruction is to add another panel. So, see how I get on. Hmm. I was thinking it would make more sense. So there's one, two. I'm going to run out of sockets on there. So you've got 4 left, there's only 2. I do have a spare one there. That's 2, 4, 6. 2, 4. You see? That's slightly annoying. But let's see what the next stage says, and see if I can do this a different way, because I'm loath to separate these onto 2 separate panels. Right. Now I have another panel. So okay. Right, so what it's want me to do is feed this all the way through from here, actually. So I'm guessing it's going to connect to a panel at the top end. What I'm wondering, this doesn't want to go through. There we go. Right, so that comes out there, and we have another smaller panel. But now what I'm wondering is that's no, actually, going back to might be why they did it. Yeah, putting these back on the same side might actually prove more advantageous, because and actually at this point I'm going to get some Snipe those pliers. Yeah, these things are a pain to take out. Right. Yeah, of course, I may have now just complicated matters even more because of my clever plan to route all this stuff through here. As, yeah, that's not going to reach. Right. Less, actually. Well, that could work. As long as that, yeah, this could actually work. Right. So what we're actually now going to do, I'm going to patch these into this one, feed that cable back through into this one. This cable then connects to this one, which connects to this long cable that goes to the back. To see if it works. As I said earlier, it doesn't matter which sockets they go into, as long as the plugs are in the right way around. If they're in the wrong way around, it just won't work at all, and you'll probably break things. That's what I've done there. I've plugged the wrong ones in. Right. Right. Keep those separated. So before I do quite like this modular approach to the wiring, so it does give you quite a bit of flexibility. Right, yeah, that's all of them. Okay, so how did I run out before? That's strange. I definitely ran out of sockets last time, and I seem to have enough this time, because now I can just put this one into there. Actually, what I will do, yeah, just to use up a bit of slack, I will twist that round there. Right. And again, that would, if we stick it in, we'll stick it in somewhere like that. Okay. Probably get a second one in. Yeah. So, yeah. Right, so we now have that connected to there. And, oh, right, I appreciate it's probably quite difficult to see what's going on. but didn't mean to do that. Right, so what we now have, we've wired in the headlights, and we've wired in, what are those lights? That's the headlights. They're the wheel arch lights. What are these ones? Are these the headlights? I've lost track. I can't actually know which lights these are. What's the other headlight ones? Yeah, actually that goes. Where are those ones? The guns. Oh yes, of course. It was that front intake, or whatever it is, that front nacelle. So yeah, that's all the lights for that front nacelle. So now we have this last little one, which we can connect. I said last, at least last in this section. Right, okay, there we go. Yep, that's now connected. And where are this? There. Right. So these are the gun lights being wired in. And the wheel arches. Connect this joining piece. Actually, yeah. Right. Oh. And yeah, we're going to do that way. Do a bit of a wind on this one to take up some of the slack. Although we should have done that before. Connected that one. Actually, take that one out. Yeah. Yeah. Just wind that wound slightly to take up the slack. And yeah, so. So these are all now wired in. Fit that back there. That's what comes through. Yeah. So what we end up with is that, well, these essentially stuck either side of here. Oh, that one's been a bit of a pain. Right, yeah. Unfortunately, my extra bit of cabling's causing a few complications there, but yeah, so that would be stuck on there. We can stick that on here, possibly. I may have to just leave that loose, and that will be stuck there. But what I'm going to do, since we happen to have a spare socket, I'm going to give it a quick test, because there's a spare one here, so I'm going to plug the USB power lead in. I'll go in. Right, that's that. And get yourself a power pack. Cheap little power pack from the pound shop. Right, and what we should find, fingers crossed, I'll turn this boy back over. Now you'll notice one of the headlights is detached itself, so I shall repair that forthwith. Bring the guns up. Now, let's see how this looks like with the light on, but now put power in. That's not good. Nothing's come on. Okay, seems there was a bit of a technical issue, which is why the lights weren't coming on, and yeah, probably cursed myself earlier by saying I'd rather one not come on than all not come on, but it turns out they weren't all coming on because one of them wasn't coming on, and in the process of trying to work out which it was, which was the guns specifically, I managed to do that. So I now have an LED which is no longer connected to the rest of the cable. So I may have a go at resoldering that, because thankfully I think there's enough slack on that cable to still maintain or still do the job. But you'll also notice that this other gun is now being dismantled, and that's because I'm going to take a different approach to wiring it. So I think the problem was I may have actually stripped some of the insulation off. It's difficult to tell, but because these clips are so tight, there's not a lot of space for the cable to run, so I suspect that's what the problem was. I have tested it, and just to prove that it does actually currently work, you can hopefully see, yeah, the lights are coming on there. So hopefully when I reconnect all this, they will still come on. So all I'm doing is, rather than the previous approach where it was a twisted cable going through the clips as a pair, I've untwisted the individual pairs, and what I'm going to try and do is take one of each individual wire down a different side of the clip to mitigate the tension that's applied. So might work, we'll see. So here's the clip. What I'm doing, find the gap either side of the clip, take one down one side, take the other down the other. As I think, of course, as well, is you've got that rod that goes in afterwards, which doesn't really help either. Why is that not going in? Okay, now it's starting to be a pain. No, now it's pushing the LED out. Come on, did this before. Right, great. Yep. Oh, the joys of Lego lighting kits. Yeah, actually I think I can see the bare metal under there, which might explain why what had happened. I think it was actually shorting out previously. But that'll be because these clips push in so tightly against it all. Right, so that's in. And do a similar thing here as well. This one. Yep. Right, before we go any further, do another quick test to make sure. Yep, that's all working. Very good. And then finally get this pin down and hope this doesn't cause me any more problems. So far so good. I'll do another quick test just because I'm now paranoid. Yep, that's all good. And then I can go back on there. Back up. Goes back on there. And where's that plate gone? Where has that plate gone? Oh, I seem to have lost the side plate. Okay, I'm sure it's around somewhere. I'll find it at a later date. So yeah, actually I'm going to knock this light off so it's a bit more obvious. But now, if we apply power, see that probably could just be a bit further in. Well, you can see the gun flashing. I'll lift the headlights up. See both headlights up and the red lights in the centre of the nacelle. And I will fix that headlight. So that will do for this one, I think. While I go and find that plate.